Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Daniel Gormally. I'm a Grandmaster, currently living in Northumberland in England. So today I'm going to have to take on the ultimate challenge, and I'm going to try and take on Leela at night odds. So the important thing is I'm going to try to get the time control right. So I'm going to be black. Hang on a minute. Let me try this again. So what time control do we want? Real time. So let's try and play like a normal rapid play time control. So 15 plus 10. Can we do that? Because that's normally what you play at rapid play. I'm going to try and play black. Yeah, okay, so I've got plenty of time, but can I utilize that time? Right, that is the $1 million question. Okay, so bishop c5 here looks like a normal move, right? So it'll be interesting to see whether I get any closer to getting good results against it. As you see, my score here is not good, but this has all been played at blitz time controls. So castles looks normal, can't see anything wrong with that move. Okay, so if I go c6, it might consider a move like d3. However, there is h6. I think c6 looks like a normal starting point, trying to build a centre. Okay, so it's gone e4, that's a natural move. I mean, it's frighteningly strong, these machines. I think he wants to go king h1. I think I'll start with d6. I don't see anything wrong with that move. Okay, so now bishop g5 is not necessarily a terrible threat, so there is a little bit of time, but what do I do with the time? I think he wants to go king h1 and then go okay, I'm going to play a weird move. I'm going to go king h8. So I think bishop g5 doesn't necessarily want. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I wanted to go knight g8 and argue that f5 is improving my position a lot. So f5, I think he wants f4, right? But okay, let's probably have to accept that reality. So what do I do now? I guess you take, right? The taking is going to take with a bishop, but that shouldn't be such a problem. Okay, so now I really have to think. So at some point it might go d4. However, there is bishop d4. I'm feeling like that's a reasonable move. Yeah, I mean, it just defends so ridiculously well, so it'd be interesting to see if slower time controls whether I have any more chance against it. Probably still get battered. Joel Benjamin took it on classical chess. I think he narrowly won. So that shows the brutal strength of these machines, really. That a Grandmasters can't even beat it at slower time controls. Let's try that move, because that's kind of a natural looking move. So really the key thing now revolves around development. If I can develop safely, I should be a lot better, but knight d7 drops the pawn on I feel like I'd probably have to try bishop e6 to try and we can go knight e2. Okay, it's taken. Yeah, there's probably some nasty tactical idea it wants to do down the f file. I'm going to take back the bishop. Finally it's gone for this idea. Now there are tactical ideas if I go bishop e5. I mean, for example, if I go bishop f6, it could take on d6, take on f5, but then it's not really very good for white. So bishop e5, it could take and go queen b6, queen b4, sorry. Knight d7, queen b7. Seems to be good for black. If d4 is also critical. Bishop f4, queen f4, but then knight d7 or knight a6. So bishop f6, then bishop d6, queen d6, rook f5. I think that's good for black. However, it has won a pawn back, which of course you begin to worry. However, I feel like that's good, so I'm going to try. I mean, I feel like my gut feeling's telling me bishop e5. Yeah, I didn't even want to take. I didn't want to entertain taking the pawn. So bishop g6 is like a nice tidy up move. However, I do have a problem with. Okay, maybe it can start to consider moves like bishop e3, maybe. So okay, so now knight a6 looks natural to try and get the knight in, but it might go b4. Knight a6 g5. You can always go bishop e7. But then h4. I'm going to try knight a6. Probably it's going to try for compression, right? g5. Yeah, this feels like the best. What's happened to the position? It's kind of weird. The borders. Okay, so now it wants to go knight. Yeah, I've misplayed this because now it can go knight g3 and then at h5. If knight c7, knight g3, knight e6, h5, there's rook f4. Over knight c7, knight g3, knight e6, it's got bishop g3, bishop e3, sorry. So maybe this position, I need to find a good square for the bishop. Yeah, I don't like the way I play this. Somehow this knight is passive. This has got a bit wrong. So even with this extra time, I'm getting battered. Okay, that move also missed, right? So I want to go knight f4, right? So I'm going to come back to the knight, try and use the extra piece. Yeah, but this is starting to look smelly now. Yeah, my pieces is very clever how it's compressed my pieces, or maybe just very bad play by me. Because d5 was, yeah, well I was also trying to break out with d5, but now I can't even break out with d5, so somehow this has gone horribly wrong actually. I tried taking. I think I've rushed this game. I just played it too quickly. And even a move like knight f6 is not completely ridiculous, but of course you're then giving back your extra piece. So do you really want to do that? Bishop g5 is also playable. Hg, queen g5 because his knight's pinned. But then tactically it will somehow find a refutation in my play, I'll suspect. Maybe you move like bishop e4, threatening knight g6. You know, it will outplay me. Once it gets some material back, it outplays me. But then I'm not really seeing any other useful moves other than giving the piece back. So knight f6 takes. How does it defend the pawn? Maybe I'm going to go bishop e5. At least that way, you know, you feel as from a human perspective, you don't like this compression of your pieces. However, also have to bear in mind it does bluff a bit, you know, maybe realistically this isn't that great for white. Maybe I'm just panicking. Let's try that move. Feels very suspicious. So possibly I should have gone for the now it's going to line up something against this poor little knight. I wanted to go bishop f8 to try and activate the knight that way. However, it's very slow. I feel like tactically it's going to be dubious. Genius computer just always finds a way, right? h5 is even possible now because queen g5 is knight g6. Okay, so knight e7 maybe it's possible. Let's try knight e7. Try to get knight f5. It's got bishop e. I want to go knight f5. But then he goes g6, right? Can I go knight g3 then? I'll try knight f5. I need to. There's also bishop g8 as an option. Maybe bishop d8 is the move. Try and take with the bishop. Aha. Just going for checkmate. I have to take that. So now it's hitting the knight. So yeah, very clever. I could go knight h6. It's very clever the way it's sort of slowly get. You take on e3 doesn't seem to help. Yeah, it's just got back into this game in a big way. It's more than back in it now. It's just winning. Saw quite a good documentary last night about. Yeah, this is shite. Let's try another game. So where was the real mistakes in that game? I was also wondering. Okay, I've obviously gone wrong by this point. Oh, H6. Yeah, maybe that's a weakness. Actually, you can reveal your weaknesses to a certain extent. The fact that you're unable to. Yeah, even this, I probably should have practically gone for this, or even knight f6. I wondered about, because practically this is quite an easy position to play for black. But of course, you're only a tiny bit better then, so the engine's probably a big favourite, right? Well, not probably. Right, let's try again. Okay, that was a poor effort. Okay, we're using slower time controls now. Okay, we're going to play the French. Okay, I'm not happy about it going to this King's Indian style attack position, because it seems to play these kind of positions very well. So yeah, I think maybe this is one way to reveal your weaknesses. It's a quite good idea to play a rapid time controls and then analyse the games afterwards. Because you know, like that last game, I was reluctant to play h6 and push a pawn in front of my king, but that actually was the best option. In fact, I didn't even consider it. So these kind of positions, okay, yeah, this problem is these knights competing for the same square. That's an interesting move. So the natural tendency, h6, it might go h5, g5, f4. So I feel like h5 is the way. So you say the Mandalorian, but not completely happy with that move. Okay, so it really is gambling now because b2 is very weak. Okay, there's queen b6, c3. Yeah, I mean, all it can do is play its perfect chess and then hope that somehow, well, it doesn't generally need to hope, does it? I always seem to give it like a prop up. Okay, I'll try queen b6. I've got an idea in mind that after c3 I might go here. Although then it will castle, right? Because it can't allow queen takes b2 tactic. And the question is whether then maybe f4 later is going to be a bit suspicious for me. What other options do I have? I'm a little bit afraid of that. I mean, maybe I could play that move. Maybe the idea knight this move I missed actually. This idea of going there. So if I go knight e5 now, it's going to go. Yeah, so we'll get this move in. I could go d6 because if knight c4, queen c7, and maybe yeah, okay, yeah. Right, so it clearly it's set his stall out. It wants to attack on the king's side. It's reaching that kind of trick, you know, nice position. That is, yeah. Bad memories putting my queen on a6. The game against Richard Pert the weekend. That was a bad game. There is knight g4 here as a possibility. Idea bishop c3. There's also b5. Idea b4. b5 I'm not 100% convinced by. There's also e5 which would blunt. But that allows a knight into c4. So knight c4 is probably a threat, right? So b5 there might be d4. Trade. But then b4, but then knight c4, right? But then I could castle, gets murky. And all these variations you have to calculate. What happens if he goes e5? It probably will refute that tactically. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. And then it wants d4, right? I guess. Well, we're I mean, it's giving us a lot of material now. So d. I blundered just a piece, like a piece, gain of a piece. Very clever. King e7. Oh, king e7 is a move, right? So now I get this. So what's the pawn count now? So I'm giving back the piece, but this ending is better for. No, what am I talking about? I blundered the rook. So I'm kind of tilting here. I'm not calculating very well. I'm being very lazy. I'm not calculating at all well. Okay, let's try e5. Okay, so it's played a very weird move, which doesn't look very good. There's even d5 here. I feel like I need to make some exchanges. If it goes, okay, now just take with a queen. So knight, yeah, I feel like this is the thing about blitz chess. You have to calculate, and the last couple of games I did not calculate, and it's good training actually if you do actually calculate. So maybe it wants to go f4, but I feel like knight c6 is also knight c3 is an option. Maybe knight c6 is a good option. So now I was thinking queen d7. If f4, there is bishop d. Oh, that move I missed. It's also very careless, of course. Okay, I'll give it a pawn. Right, rook e5, bishop e7. I'm tilting a little bit. Yeah, somehow it's back in the game already. So it actually plays very, very well at blitz. Right, bishop e6, d5, treble o is critical. Is a critical line, but then you can take on c6 because d1's defended. There is bishop e6, d5, queen d6, but then he goes bishop f4. So at least I'm calculating a little bit about. Actually, maybe I could try bishop g4, f3. Yeah, I don't like this already. This feels maybe king f8. I have to play, so we just get out this pin. Or it gets too critical. Of course, that's really not what I want at all. So it seems to me that I don't play any better at rapid play than I play at blitz. To be honest, I just don't utilise my time. Well, I think the same with classical. I think the whole key, what I've come to realise with classical, you know, all these different type of tools, is utilising your time to the best of your ability. You know, that is so important. Okay, I think it was b3, right? But bishop d6 looks like such a natural move. It has to be played. Yeah, so queen h4, bishop g5 is maybe the idea. Is that the idea? And then queen h5 is playable. Bishop f6 is bishop e5. The queen h4, what does it intend? I guess it's g3, but that's horribly weakening. Really, maybe you would never want to play, but I guess maybe it has to play it. I don't really see another good square for the queen, so I'm going to go there. Now here I thought queen g4 was good, but again, probably a miscalculation by me. Sorry, queen h5 I was thinking, because bishop f6, bishop e5. But maybe I've just simply miscalculated here. Maybe I'm missing. What am I missing? Really see what I'm missing. The queen h5 just looks very good for black. Start to doubt yourself. Okay, we'll try that move. Oh my god, what is this? I mean, surely this can't work, can it? Oh, okay, so you can go into a position where it's changed out. This is this idea, right? I mean, amazing concept to even think that this is okay, right? I mean, a lot of players will just give up on this whole concept. Because now it is threatening bishop f6. So bishop e5, queen e5, there's literally no good move there then. Is that what he's saying? Well, I find it hard to believe, but... Yeah, I mean that line's forced, like where, but I think once it takes on e5, the problem is also hitting c7. So I'd have to go c6, which, to be honest, is probably okay for black, but it's not what you want at all against an engine. So you're looking around for something a lot better, but I'm not convinced there is anything better. Hang on, does queen h2 work here? And then bishop e5. I mean, it's a hell of a tactic, but maybe it's just gambling that I won't find that, because but again, maybe that's the advantage of having rapid play. You know, a blitz I would never find that. But queen h2, king h2, bishop e5, isn't that just winning? I'm going to give it a punt. Okay, so now I'm a rook up, but of course, still not that clear. If c6, surely that must be winning. Yeah, if I don't, this is actually going to be. I probably won't upload a video if I don't win from here. This is the problem, right? But I mean, if I don't win from here, I've only got myself to blame, really. You know, c6 is possible, but I'm slightly concerned it will get active with the rook, like rook d1 or something. Okay, I mean, this is a nonsense. c6 wins. He does a bishop c7 though, yeah. Maybe f6. Because it forces to go f4, which is kind of a weakening move. Doesn't necessarily want to play that move. Because f6, if it takes, it's lost. If d6, I can start to think about developing a bishop. Long term, I should win. So we're going to try that move. I think it will go f4. No, it's okay. It doesn't really change anything. So long term, this is winning, but it's a question. Okay, how do I convert? So king f7, or try to even convert. There's a lot of it's about controlling that knight. Where does the knight want to jump to? Knight wants to jump to maybe c3. Also have to control the d pawn at the same time. The bishop f5, then knight d4, but then bishop d7. Let's try bishop f5, feels like a natural move. Yeah, I had to do that, otherwise c5 I think was good. So king f7 now. Okay, there are ideas of, yeah, once knight c5. So if I go rook c8, it's going to be worried about, let's say this rook c8, it's going to be worried about this sack. Oh, maybe not, because of the fact that it's got an f4 tactic at the end. So again, bishop f5 again is a move, or bishop e6, knight c5, bishop b5 I'm not very keen on because of maybe rook e1 ideas. Okay, I'm going to trust that bishop e6 is winning, and then just defend the pawn, because rook e1 I feel there's g5. Oh, I'm walking into a d7 tactic. So what's its threat? It wants to go f4, but at the moment, maybe rook e8 actually. Got to be very careful now. Maybe this rook to e8 is the key. Yeah, so it couldn't allow that. So now knight d7 is possible. I'm starting to make some progress. For example, I could chop the pawn now. We've still got these ideas of coming back to c5, so I feel like, you know, Gormally would always grab the pawn, so I'm going to grab the pawn. Yeah. So I could take actually and then go bishop e6, because if it goes d7 then I get like a favourable trade, take, rook e7, and then I'm going to win technically. So you generally just want to exchange as many pieces as possible, because this ending, okay, this ending should be an easy win. Yeah, start with this. Okay, it's just willingly giving me the pawn. Not very interesting now. Oh, everybody, all the spectators. As soon as I start winning, all the spectators leave. Okay, still got to think about it a little bit. How do I make? I could just improve on the king side. Has it got 0 threats here? Start putting the pawns here. Okay, yeah, it's trying to go for some counterplay, but now I could go rook b8 or rook e8. Looks natural. As long as you don't blunder with a rook, you're going to win this easily. Start with g5, g4. Start pushing the pawn. I'm quite enjoying this game now. And now I can put the pawn on a2, which will win a piece eventually. It's not h5. Not very interesting now. The game has ceased to be interesting anymore. Now I can win the piece. Just got to watch out for stale matrix, because it's very good at stale matrix. Yeah, all the spectators have left. Okay, start with queen h7. Come on! Finally beat that little bastard. I mean, it's the first win I've ever had against it. But it does make a difference if it's rapid play. Because the fact that I did get a winning position there. I've had winning positions against it before at Blitz. But I've never been able to convert because I haven't had the time to convert. But if you look at that game, I think finding queen h2 was really that key move. Having that extra time to look around for candidate moves. Because I think what I learned from the first few games is I wasn't calculating very well in the first few games. I wasn't calculating at all, actually. And I was just playing intuitively. And I missed a lot of chances. But yeah, I decided here that the thing is, if I go here, it will go castles, and then it will go for like... Of course that's good, but it'll go f4 at some point or something, I don't know. But now this is yeah, I mean, missing bishop b5. Obviously if you had an extra piece here somewhere, it's probably be busted already, but it's quite key that, yeah, it can't go here because of b5. So I think it probably saw this tactic in the game but decided that there was nothing better, because practically, yeah, maybe it's just gambling that I won't find queen h2, which is fascinating. Because obviously I didn't see it initially. It's quite a hard tactic to see. Yeah, I think if it goes back, it's just busted because I'm going to take on d5. And the kind of position you want against when you're a piece up was quite easy to play with an active position. You know, also rook e3 designers like knight g4 as well. But simply take it on d5, like knight takes d5, looks very good for black. I don't see anything wrong with that move. You know, so maybe queen d5 as well. Queen takes d5 is good. If rook d3, then queen h5. So he decides to gamble. We decided, because again, if you go g3, that's just creating too many weaknesses. Queen h3 must be good. Well, no, maybe not queen h3 because knight e5, but g3, just queen g4. It's just got too many weaknesses on a so it gambles here. It just gambles. That I'm not going to find queen h2, because if I don't find queen h2, I'll probably lose, right? I mean, I think if you take here, then this is very much game on. Maybe objectively, black's still doing well, but. You know, what do you do? Like, if you go queen g6, it goes knight f4, it's got tremendous play. Like, queen e4, bishop f6. You know, then, yeah, I'm only going to be exchange up, and I don't think that's even better for black. Might even be worse, actually, because c6 is so weak. c7 is so, well, maybe not worse objectively, but you certainly lost a large part of your advantage. Yeah, I think this would not be good. It's actually saying I'm still completely winning, but queen h2 is just a tremendous knockout. And after that, I think probably didn't play it the best way, but still was good enough. Yeah, f6 felt right because he doesn't really want to go f4 because it's creating weaknesses. I'll probably just go knight g4, or even knight g4. I was thinking, yeah, it's also good. Yeah, g5 is just to prevent f4 and keep that knight there forever. I felt like the way I played was reasonable, actually, from a practical perspective, just stopping any... I like this move, rook e8. I was quite proud of that move. They're just stopping his play. So I think I'm better able to contain it at rapid play, because you're better able to maybe anticipate you see more counter moves yourself. Yeah, by this point it's ceased to be interesting, because if it doesn't play d7, I'm just going to go bishop d7, and that's very easy to convert, even against this monster. So it has to go d7 and just hope. But the problem is, if it goes rook d8 here, you just trade, and the exchange up ending is completely winning. So that was a good session in a way, because at least I did. I mean, I know I lost overall. Was it 2 or 3-1? But at least I won a game finally against it. So I think that's the key. If you play at a rapid play, you've got some sort of chance. It's saying its estimated rate is 2,000. I think it's much higher than that. I mean, relatively, right? Obviously, if it didn't start piece down, it wouldn't be 2,000. But I think it would beat most 2,000 at rapid play piece down, to be honest. Anyway, that was my attempt to try and play at rapid play time controls. What I might do at some point is play Queen odds bullet, because that's also a massive challenge. Like, Queen odds is an interesting challenge. It's not very interesting when you're like material up. So when you've got like a slower time control, you're probably going to win easily. I'm probably going to win easy because I'm a GM. Probably. I'm not going to win every game, but I'm probably going to win the majority of the games, I reckon, at slower time controls. But bullet, yeah, is it maybe some bullet with increment. Anyway, please leave your comments down below. What did you think of the video? Blah blah blah. And thanks for watching. Also, this time I was clever enough to, you know, not have the webcam covering the time, how much time I had left, right?